So the other day I went into this record shop. I haven't been into a record store in I don't know how long. And the moment I walked in, it was like walking into a really cool library, full of just epic music. The first thing that hit me when I walked in was just these guys that work there that I could tell that they were employees, but on the other hand, it was almost like they were aspiring old school DJs. It was like, yeah, they were glad to be paid to work there, but they really just wanted to play records all day. You would hear deep tracks of stuff I've never heard on the radio in my life, never even heard of. And it would just be one record played after another record after another record. And as you're walking through the aisles, one of the first things that hits you is if you have an agenda, if you have a plan when you walk into a record store, it's not like your phone. It's not like iTunes. You just download whatever you want for $1.29 or whatever. Actually, you could go in there and what you're looking for, you'll never find. And that was exactly the case for me. I actually couldn't find any of the things that I wanted to find. See, my agenda was going to have to take a back seat to what was available and what was happening around me. And as I was looking around, I just started noticing it's like this is where turntables and record players found solace, right? Like there was no turntable turned away, right? All were accepted, all records, all, no matter how old, no matter the style, no matter how worthless to everyone else, they were all there, stacked up, filed away, accounted for, named, and placed in their order. You know, we're not that different. Most of us are like an old school album, like vinyl. Most of us have happy songs and sad songs, songs about tragedy and loss and pain, songs about wonderful moments and love and life and the beauty of life and the sadness in life and everything in between. No different than vinyl. The time can take its toll. The elements can take their toll. Maybe you got some scratches and scars. Maybe you don't play quite the way that you used to. Maybe you can relate to that. And you know, what's interesting is when I was looking for the record that I really wanted at the time, I was coming up short. And as I just started paging through this organized, but at the same time, random bin of rock, I all of a sudden stumbled upon Green Chair. That's right, Green Chair. To the music world, it's not Green Chair. It's Jefferson Starship, and the album's called Nuclear Furniture. But to me, it was Green Chair. Ever since I was a little kid, 5, 6, 7 years of age, I would just tell my dad, hey, will you play Green Chair? It's because he would have the record up on a shelf, and all that I could see as a little kid looking up on the shelf was this green chair. That's what I would refer to the album as. And it's so many beautiful memories. My dad on the rocking chair, me on his knee, and just playing Green Chair. I'm telling you, when I found this album, I was so happy. I forgot what I was even looking for. I forgot my agenda of what I was looking for previously. All that mattered is I have been reunited with Green Chair. I saw the price, $1.99. I was pumped. I went to the front. I had this huge grin on my face. I'm like, hey, I can't believe I found this album. I haven't seen it in 30 plus years. The quasi-DJ employee guys halfway looked up at me like, what was the big deal? I was so pumped to have found this record. You know, I want you to take something away in this understanding. If you kind of feel like your life is sort of like an album, sort of like vinyl. You know, in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 20, we are reminded that you're not your own. In fact, as verse 20 says, you were bought at a price. You know, that album meant so much to me because it was connected deeply to a relationship. And you know, the value that was put on it was $1.99, but to me, it was priceless. You might have scratches and scars. You might be considered old, used, worn out, torn up, some kind of resale bin material. But I want you to know that God bought you with a price, and you're worth infinitely more than what the world says. His relationship and connection to you is what makes you invaluable. And in fact, you meant so much to him that he didn't purchase you with dollars or some kind of credit on his iPhone. No, he purchased you with the innocent suffering death, the bloodshed of Jesus, so that you would be his sons and his daughters. That is your identity. Not a $1.99 throwaway vinyl record, but sons and daughters of a king. You share in that inheritance. And what God wants you to know, you're trying to figure out your identity. And the world has no shortage of identities to hand you. God wants you to know that you are his and you have value because you are his.